Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Vulture from Fortnite. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, so this one's going to be a huge action pose. And what I mean by that is I'm having him jumping in the air. So I kind of am thinking like, well, if he's a vulture, he's going to fly, right? But he's not. He's just in a big jumping pose. So I kind of have him with his arms out, kind of as if he had wings. That's kind of the pose we're going for. So that's what I mean by a huge action pose, because he's very dramatic, very wings out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. There we go. That's the pose. That's the positioning. And this is very Spider-Man. By that I mean it's almost the exact same pose as the initial Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, you know, where he's got his arms out and he's jumping, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay, so this positioning looks good, so now I'm going to start to add details. So I gotta take the details and make him work in this position. And what I mean by that is I've got him in a you know, a very dramatic pose like I was just talking about, but there's only so many details you're going to see in this position is what I'm trying to say. Because like I said, he's basically with his arms out, lean back, he's pushing things around, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because yeah, because of this position is what I'm saying, and you can only see certain things. I don't know, I keep trying to say that over and over again, but it makes sense, right? Right? Okay, so there's the face. And a lot of that's going to be color anyway, but I got to make sure that I have him in the right position. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this looks about right. There we go. Perfect. That's what I'm trying to get. The angle of the head and the things you can see. That looks about right to me. There you go. But also, yeah, because he's got like this big collar, you know, that's going around his head, and you can only see so much of it now. That's why I'm trying to get that drawing correct. Trying to come correct, son. Okay, so his arm, let's see, just a cloth jacket, right? So I'm gonna just do some stretch marks or creases and folds until we get to the forearm. Then it's a gigantic ringed, cuffed, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, glove. All right, and let's see. Let's draw like a claw, like he's jumping, or not jumping. He's reaching out, because again, I'm thinking vulture. So I imagine that he's vulturing out. You know what I mean. You vulture out all the time, right? Let's see. Something like that. So I'm going to bend these fingers so some of them are kind of bent towards you, so they're a little super dynamic that you can't see everything, right? So it's gonna look a little odd if they're pointed straight at you, but in the overall big picture it'll probably make sense. And if not, that's okay. No big deal. All right, I think that'll work. Something like that. There you go. This is getting super dark because of the details I'm adding. Like I'm having to really sketch a lot of lines out, and that's how I work. I sketch and sketch and sketch and sketch and sketch until I got it close to where I'm going. And this one is taking a lot of sketches, and that's okay, but that also means I'm going to have a lot to erase before we get started, because I don't want the pencil to be showing through. I want the Sharpie to be showing through. All right, and so again, he's got a lot of detail that we have to try to get right in this position. Hey, but that's the challenge, right? That's the fun of creating. If we are the designers, we are the creators, we are the ones who decide this is how it's going to look. So we get to decide all that stuff. We get to make these decisions and create the way we want. All right, so this one, let's see. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Okay. Go. I'm just repositioning some of the lines because, you know, it's good to always step back and look at your picture so you can see from a different perspective and see it, so, you know, see what you might be messing up. I can't step back from this, but I can lean back a little bit and kind of get a different look as to what I was going for, you know, or not what I was going for, as to where I am currently. Alright, let's see. So this one, we're going to kind of do the same thing, but not pointed straight at you. Like this hand, some of the fingers are going to be straight like that. So see how that middle finger is kind of strange looking and odd because it's pointed right at you? This hand, it's going to be more of an angle like that. So we're going to see more of the turn, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you can see more of the position. And that's just the artistic license we get to take when we're creating like this. So we're kind of doing a what did I call it over there? Super dynamic, but I guess super deformed is more the word we should be saying. That's more. Let's do that over here. I kind of like that. That came out pretty good. So let me just sketch this again real fast, and we'll finish this up. But I like the way that came out. So let me reposition this hand and redo those lines. Pretty much like we did, but I need to get it looking right. That's not too bad. Kind of out there, kind of funky. All right, but again, he's jumping through the air, so you know it's going to be a little exaggerated, you know. Okay, so let me just draw his knee pads real fast. And then let's see, he's got big exaggerated pants tucked into his boots. All right. Into the boots. And And that's gonna super tiny ankles like that. And then super gigantic Fortnite treads. Alright, so let's do this one here too. We're gonna angle that one back just like we did there. Super gigantic pants into ankled treads. Ankled shoes into the treads. And we'll just do like we did there. That. Something like that. Alright, I think that'll work. I say we get going. That took a long time to sketch, so we need to get moving on this. So I'm going to start erasing, and we're going to get ready to switch over to the Sharpie portion. We're going to I want to thank anybody who watched this, and we're going to welcome anybody who skipped over to the Sharpie portion of the video. I appreciate anybody watching any part of this, so let's get going. That's pretty good. That's nice and ghost of an image, nice and light, so I can draw over it and it won't stand out. If you're working with a pencil, you just continue to start drawing darker, okay? So, welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. So, I've sketched the entire thing out and I've erased the sketch lines. What's left is a dark ghost image that I'm going to be drawing over. So I'm going to start with the finer details like the eyes. I'm just going to start tiny and work big, okay? So I've got him facing this way and jumping, so his eyes are pretty much doing this, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and draw the little skull face detail in there so you can see where we are. So just kind of follow with me. I'm going to trace around the eye and go up. Let's go ahead and do it over here too. I'm going to trace around the eye. Gonna disappear back there. Let's draw the edges and then we can build into this, because I've got him kind of squinched up because of the way his arms are raised up into his head here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to draw this edge into his chin like this. I'm going to stop right about there because now I'm going to draw his hood. Now his hood I'm going to have like this. It's going to come down over here. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can have some start-stop points, because I needed to know where the edge of this is. And I guess I can thicken up that hood too, just a little bit. The reason I'm doing this, if you're working with pencil, you don't have to. The reason I'm doing this is because the Sharpie I'm about to use is super thick. This one, even though it says fine point, and I'm just trying to match the way it's about to look, and just keeping the finer details in for the parts of the face that I can do with this Sharpie. Alright, so now I'm going to do his nose like this, and go ahead and come down like that for the face, and then I'm going to color this in with color later on. This line probably should have matched that one, so we're going to go a little bit higher like that. That way we can match them. Okay, and so for the top, the last of it, I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to do one line like this, one down like that, another one down like that. Okay, so that's it for the face. The color is going to take care of the rest. I just wanted to add those details. So for the hood, let's draw the other sides and then we'll do that middle part in a second. Okay, so now I'm going to switch back over to the big Sharpie, and because his arms are raised, that means his shoulders are raised, which is raising his neck, which is raising the collar. So for the collar, I'm just going to kind of do something like this, and it's like a fuzzy fur, right? Like a vulture fur. So I'm just going to do this, and again, I've got it raised up, so that's why it's kind of super high over his face. Like this, okay? So now I can draw the rest of his hood up like this, bring this side over, kind of tuck it back in like that. So that means I can draw his little centerpiece like that. Okay, and see, I wanted to do it like that, so I've got a nice contrast of thick versus thin to accent the details in his face, or his hood. So let's draw his little bandolier of potions, I guess, because this is in front, and I want to draw what's in front first and work my way down, or backwards, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just drawing basically cylinders for his little bandolier pouch. And then there's the buckle, but it's going to get tucked in like this. I'm going to draw the other side over here. That's where it's going to disappear behind his body. And then the buckle, holding that in. So I'm going to come back and add just a little bit of detail with the finer Sharpie, just because I can. And I'm adding kind of like the little strap that's holding each one on. So I'm kind of curving it over, kind of showing dimension to it, giving it an edge, you know? So speaking of, let's go ahead and also draw this top half to make it like a real cylinder. And the bottom, there is like a whole bottom, like a lid, I guess. So we're just going to do something like that just to give it a little bit of an accent, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and draw this one's in front, the way he's positioned. So it would be kind of like this, how this is closer to you, so I consider that in front, and everything is back behind it going backwards. So let's go ahead and draw this arm. I'm going to draw the backpack strap. I'm going to draw the square buckle, I guess is what it is, that holds it. Draw it like this, and it's tilted back behind his body because his arms are raised. So that also gives us a few little places that we can start and stop with the things that we're going to do. So I'm going to draw his shoulder, which is raised. I'm going to kind of start drawing a bunch of crease lines too, because as his shirt is raised up, you're going to see all these wrinkles. So the back of his shirt, or his armpit, is like this, right? But because of all the creases, I'm going to add some stress lines like this to get us to where we want to be, okay? And I'm going to add some more in a second. I just wanted to show you why it's all bumpy and jaggedy. All right, there's the edge of his glove, but that basically is the place that we can stop and add some extra stress, because, like I said, his arms are raised, so that kind of really adds to the stress of his jacket. So we can add a bunch of stress lines like that. We can even go crazy and add a few like this, just because, like I said, there's a lot of stress on a raised arm like that. But we don't have to go too far, but I just like that we can, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and just add this in while we're here, just to connect that. So let's add the cuff of his jacket, or not jacket, of his glove. So we can draw the rest of the arm like this. There's his wrist. And so his hand is kind of out like well, I guess like this, right? Like that. So I'm gonna draw his thumb. Super, I was saying the wrong things in the sketch. I was calling it super deformed. I was saying super dynamic. Super action pose. What's the word I'm looking for? All right. There we go. Just kind of still can't think of the word I'm going for. Super. I guess dynamic is the right word I was looking for. So I'm gonna add some more stress lines, showing that, you know, he's really. Oops, that line shouldn't have been out there. Don't go as crazy as I am. I'm just excited and having fun with this. Super. Can't think of the word, but again, that's okay. That's why I'm not a writer. I'm not a speaker. I'm a drawer. All Alright, so let's do the other one. Same thing over here, just kind of stretched out, because I imagine if he's a vulture, he's flying. He's jumping in the air like a big old vulture would. Let's draw the zipper, which is kind of off. It's not in the middle. So I'm going to kind of do something like this. I'm going to come back with a smaller Sharpie and just add a middle line. Let's do 2, just to give us something. Like that. And I know it's stopped there, but that's because that's where his belt's going to be. But I just want to give you a little positioning of that. So that means now I'm going to draw a bunch of lines over this way. Alright, so see, I've got him stretched out, really stretched out with this material. Like that. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So his backpack sleeve or strap is kind of tucked in behind everything else. So that's about all we can see of that. And I'm going to draw those stress lines like we did there for his arm. Just a bunch of stressed out material lines. Oops, look, I didn't connect. That's how stressed out it is. Like that. And again, we're going to draw that edge. I'm going to go back with this real fast and draw just a few more smaller lines just to accent that, because we can. There we go. Ooh, let's do some of those over here. There we go. Alright. Okay, so same thing, we're going to draw this hand pretty much like we did there. So we're going to draw, there's the wrist to the forearm. Same thing, going to connect it like that. Didn't quite connect that. There we go. And same thing, I'm just going to draw that hand. Super dynamic, deformed. I don't know what the word I was going for, but it's super something. So I'm drawing the thumb out here like this. There we go. To the fingers. I've already sketched it out, so that's why I'm pretty much kind of tracing what I did and just seeing where it takes me. Like that. Draw this one out like that. Okay, now, because it just looks just bland like this, like I did there, I'm going to add some extra crease lines, you know, just to spice it up. Just to show that, you know, it's super deformed, super stressed. Whatever word I was trying to find, but I can't find it because I'm not a writer. It's something like that. It's a glove, so we can draw all kinds of crazy lines and just say, yeah, that's just the bends in his gloves. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to draw his belt. And I'm going to draw it across like this. And draw the center. Oh, oops. That's supposed to be in the middle. That's a mistake. I made a mistake of thinking that was the center, but I forgot that's over to the side a little bit. So when you draw his buckle, put it over here. Don't do like I just did. I'm going to go ahead and continue with what I was doing, because it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to worry about it or freak out or say, oh nope, throwing it away. Nah, just keep going. It's fine. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to close it off and draw him a couple of pouchy pouches. Oh no, on this side he's got like that. He's got what do you call them? Cylinders, right? Because I don't know what they are. They look like potions or something. Okay, that'll work for those cylinders. And then I'm going to draw the pouches over here. This is where he keeps his juice box and his snacks. Okay, I'm going to draw a flap over it like that. I'm going to draw a big one here. Again, flap over like this. I'll go ahead and draw an edge just to give it some dimension. All right, so now that's a bulk of it. I'm going to draw his leg, but before I do that, I forgot to sketch out the more potions that he has on his leg, so I'm going to do that now before I go too far. And what I mean by that is I don't want to draw through them. You know, I want to be able to have them on here and not accidentally draw through it. So I'm taking the sketch in the position and using that to my advantage, that I already know the lines I'm going to draw and can correct it like that. So I know it looks like it's floating, but that's why you plan stuff So you can do stuff like this if you need to. All right, here we go. Okay, so now, again, I'm just gonna draw his legs, and it looks like he's got, yeah, some strange floating straps. So I'm gonna draw those over like this, and they're around his crotch. So I'm going to draw them like that. And so now I'm gonna draw his pants. Again, kind of stressed out because he's all stretched. And I'm gonna add some more stress lines here. We're gonna call that the middle, kind of like a zipper, something like that. And there you go. Because it's so stressed right here, I want to add a few extra lines just to emphasize that it's all bunged up and stretched out because he's got his legs all spread out in his jumping position. So let's go ahead and do this leg since we're here. I'm gonna just bring it into the knee pad, do the same thing over here to the front of the knee pad. And he does have a pouch on that side, so we'll add that. And just draw, like I said, just a big knee pad. So I'm gonna draw it like this, but it is like another layer to it. So I'm gonna draw another one here, another circle, a little bit higher, like that. And bring it back in because that's where it's connected. And we'll go ahead and add just some stress lines. I guess that's the word of the day, stress lines. And we're going to add some here. Same thing. I just like to show that it's cloth, and the cloth has a lot of bends in it. Alright, so now we're going to draw his big old baggedy pants like this. For some strange reason, they're super big, like before they're tucked into his boot. Okay, and so now I'm going to draw his boot. So it's super tight on his ankle. So I'm going to come in like this, come down like that, and draw his heel into the toe. Okay, oops, didn't quite connect that. And so now I'm going to draw the giant Fortnite treads. Like that, okay? So we'll add a little bit of stress. And let's see, we'll go and clean that up a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's do the other leg. So now, same thing, we're just going to draw cloth into the placement that we did. And again, I'm going to add just some more stress lines just to show that, you know, it's, like I said, it's cloth being pushed and shoved around. So same thing here, we're going to draw to the knee. And I'm going to draw the knee pad. This one's more at you, so we'll go and say it's more centered, whereas that one's up to the side. So you can see like the top of it. So, whereas you only see one side there, we're drawing both sides. So you can see the full ankle. Angle, not ankle. Okay, and there's the center of it, where it's connected around his pants. And there's his old baggedy pants. Something like that. Again, I'm gonna add some more stress lines just because we can. Just because it looks good too, it makes it come alive. It makes it look real. Okay. All right, and you don't have to draw the exact lines I'm drawing. I'm just kind of showing you just lines like that help it look like it's bent and stressed. Okay, so let's just look just like we did there. We're gonna draw into his ankle like that. And this foot is more pointed down at you like this. There's the heel. I'm going to go clean that up in a second. There we go. And yeah, I didn't mean to have those little bumps like that. So we'll just kind of just add some kind of stress, you know, stress lines like I was talking about, like that. And add the old Fortnite super fat tread. Something like this. There we go. All right, that's a little messed up, a little messy. You can clean it up, make it better than that. Alright, so there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Vulture from Fortnite. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.